What's up, everybody? If we haven't met yet, my name is Will Paxton. I've been a musician for 20 years, and I've been recording music for the last 10 years. Today, I want to go into a deep dive on a song from my latest release, Hymns Reimagined Rock. The song is called To God Be the Glory. It's an old hymn, and what brought this about was we sang this song in church one Sunday, and I came home and wanted to learn it, so I picked up the acoustic guitar and landed on the key of G somehow. I guess that was a good range for me, and I needed a drop D tuning because I wanted to hit the low D on the 5 chord. But what made me want to do this is the drop D, because typically you'll hear a lot of rock tunes in drop D, and so I thought, what would this song sound like in drop D? So I started playing around with it, and the idea initially was to kind of do a transition from you're in an old Baptist church singing this hymn with a bunch of people, and I wanted to recreate that sort of vibe. And so initially I had this idea. I got my wife to play the piano. And so I did a piano track, and then in my living room, I used an electric piano plugged in through my DAW, and just had my wife record the piano, and then on the computer speakers just hit record and came up with this little bit right here. Me and my wife and my little kids sang, and I have several vocal tracks trying to sound different to create a choir vibe, like an old school church type deal. So this is what that sounded like. So you can hear kind of the different voices, the different timbres of voice that we use, like old people, like trying to sound like old people, trying to sound a little pitchy, out of tune maybe. So that was fun to recreate. And initially I had that at the beginning and then transitioned into the song, but with a little bit of feedback that was... I was told that was a little cheesy, so I agreed with that, and I still wanted to have that real world to song vibe. So what I did is I created this intro track, and what it was one night I had my microphone, this one right here, and a mic stand, and I used my little 2-channel PreSonus interface, got in my car, and I hit the record button, opened the door, got in, turned the car on, and the way I had it set up was I had an AM station already preset on there, and so when I turned the car on, it was actually Dave Ramsey, and so what I did was I had this little speaker right here. I sent what I just showed you to Google Drive, and then played this Bluetooth from my phone to here. And so what I did was I hit record, hopped in the car, turned the car on, and then it was Dave Ramsey, and I had a preset already that was just static. And so what I did was I level matched the speaker to the static. And so I timed it to where I hit play for the speaker to play when I changed the channel. And so that was something cool, trying to transition, like, it came on To God Be the Glory on the AM radio. And then you hear me singing along with it. And then I reach up, grab my visor, grabbed a CD out of the visor, and closed it and popped it in. Said, "Oh, Hymns Reimagined." Wonder what that's all about. Popped it in the CD player, and then it transitioned to the song. So this is what that sounds like.
But they're not directly connected in any way. It's just trending, prevailing interest rates is all that drives them.
What's this? Hymns Reimagined. Let's give it a go. So you can hear me putting the CD in, and I had one shot to do that take because my CD player is messed up. It eats CDs, so that CD's still in my CD player. So what I had to do was kind of rehearse it, record it, get level match everything, and then I had one shot to do it. So I was outside for like 30, 40 minutes trying to get everything set up right and level matched and all that stuff before I did it. And so that take is the take. And you can see I had to do some volume changes, some gain staging on different parts just to make sure that they came out at the right levels. So then from there it goes into, so we had this little swell from that point to introduce the song. So this is how that goes. And then after that, what comes next is a culmination of some time. So in 2023, I started the process on this song, and initially I had it in, I think it was drop C sharp, and I think I had this little refrain part pitched to E. So I don't know what my logic was. I think I was going from like from E to C sharp, and then I had the ending, which is a totally different vibe. It's a 6/8 vibe, swing metal kind of deal, and I had that tuned to drop A. So I think the vibe, I was trying to go from like E to C sharp to A, just kind of be funny. I don't know, but what it ended up at, I kept the song or the little refrain in the same key, but what I did was I have this in drop D, so it's in D, and then it goes to the relative minor. So the rest of it, the ending is in drop B, so it's in B minor. So the melody of the chorus remains the same, but the chord progression in the end is a lot different, and we'll get to that. I don't remember what chords I used. I could probably post a chord sheet later on if anybody's interested, but we can just listen to it. It's a fun part of the song. Anyways, so here is what the intro guitars sound like, just a little chuggy thing. This is what it sounds like. Right, cha. So with all of the rhythm section guitars, this is what it sounds like in the beginning. So then there's a little stabby part that goes along with it. There's in the breaks. So if I was playing this live, I would play the stabs and the chug-a-chug guitars together. But a little recording technique I like to use is if it would sound better as a distinct part, I put it on a separate track. So these little stab guitars, they're simple, just little octave guitars. I think some of them go up and some of them go down, but this is what that sounds like. It's just a cool little octavey part, and so what that sounds like together is this. And I'll even throw in the bass in there. So the entire intro together with everything sounds like this. Just drums and all. Put it together real quick for you. So that's the intro. And then we go into the verse. So the first verse is pretty simple. It's just the two guitars, bass, and my vocals and drums. So this is what that sounds like. There's nothing real special going on here. Let's see, what do I got going on in the bass? So I have a little sub bass. You can't really hear it. But what I did was I just used it to beef up the bass. It's very low in the mix. Let me pull this up a little bit and see where it is. Okay, so it's all the way through. Yeah, you'd have to have a subwoofer to hear that. It does add a little bit, but if you're listening on a phone or on the TV, you didn't even hear that at all. So, anyways, so this is what the verse sounds like. It's just these guitars, bass, and drums, and my vocal. God be the glory, great things he had done. So loved he the world that he gave us his son, who yielded his life in atonement for sin, and opened the life gate that all may go in. So then the second verse introduces a cool guitar part that I really enjoyed playing. Just some E-anda guitars. That's what I like to call them. They go back and forth between left and right, and it's kind of like a call and an answer kind of deal from one side to the left. I kind of like to think it makes you want to bob your head like this because of the way I panned it. So this is what that sounds like by itself. That's a fun little part. I did on 4 different guitar parts, 2 going left, 2 going right, with a little slightly different sound. I think I used a different guitar on each, not all 4 parts, but on each side. Or maybe I did. So I've got a Chapman guitar, which is kind of a Strat type guitar, and then I've got a traveler guitar. It's a Vibrant, like Steve Vai Vibrant. That it was hot pink, but I did some modifications to it. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. This is it right here. Little goofy guitar, but I use this guitar a lot on this song because it has a whammy bar, and this is the first song I've actually used a whammy bar on. But yeah, that guitar part is coming up soon. But the second verse sounds like this. Let me get it set up real quick. swell. Let's see what I did on the vocals. So what I did was I just, looks like I doubled it, tripled it. So let's do that real quick. Perfect redemption, the purchase of blood to every believer, the promise of God, the vilest offender who truly believes that moment from Jesus, a pardon received. So a little thing I did in the beginning. So this song is a little bit, it's probably a little bit too low for me. But I had like one take that I liked and one take that I didn't like so much. So let's see. This is the take I didn't like so much. I think it sounded thin to me. Let's try it. Glory, great things he hath done, so loved he the world that he gave us his Son, who yielded his life in atonement. So basically that lower one kind of had I think it had a little more deepness to it, a little more bass to it, and so I just kind of blended it in, and I like how that sounded together. Anyway, so we're going into chorus 1. It's a pretty simple arrangement, just 2 guitars, vocals, bass, drums, and this is what that sounds like. Maybe. Let me get the right tracks on there. Oh yes, I forgot about that. There's a cool little, I guess you could call it a choir part. Just a flowy, some words that it says, "Praise the Lord, oh lift your voice, lift your hand, raise your hands, oh sing, rejoice," and the last words kind of harmonize together into one chord, and so this is what that sounds like. Let me play that by itself because that's something that I added that was cool that I really liked. So here's how that goes. Praise the Lord, oh lift your voice, lift your hands, oh sing, rejoice. So then after that it kind of goes into a little breakdown, not really a breakdown, but the drums come in a little bit heavier than they were at the beginning of the chorus. So this is what the chorus sounds like. Praise the Lord, let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory, great things he had done. So then I added some octave vocals left and right. This is what those sound like to accent that last half of the chorus. That's a cool trick I like to do, is to add octave vocals when you want to emphasize a part or something like that. So this is what that sounded like. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory, great things he hath done. Okay, and then we introduced that guitar I just showed you. I went whammy happy on this guitar part. So this is kind of like it's almost like a dive bomb. But I panned it left to right or right to left, I can't remember. But here's how that went. Little fun whammy bar stuff there going on. So then the third verse, introduces a cool little riffy guitar part. That was fun to play. Little descending kind of thing. I think this is where the stabs do something different. Let me see. Let me just see. One goes up and the others go down or something like that. Let me show you real quick. Yep. So that is following the little stabby guitars. I thought that was pretty fun. So then in the third verse, this is what the rhythm guitars are doing. It's really fun. Just a little descending, kind of showcasing the drop D. It's fun. Flat 7. So then there's a cool part that the vocals do in that part too with the guitars. Let me throw in the bass too. So this is what that sounded like. So you can kind of hear the bass, the sub bass. It adds that little pop to it. It's very, very small, very, very subtle, but I like it. So I will let you hear the crazy whammy bar stuff. This is where I started to go crazy. I remember I think I was sitting at my kitchen table, goofing around with it, and I think I'd been listening to some Motley Crue, so Kickstart the Heart, and so this came out. It was fun to play, fun to figure out, fun to just goof around with, and this is how the whammy bar guitar goes in the second and the third verse. And it goes into the chorus and kind of continues that part. So it's just like, I think it was 12th fret harmonics on the low D, the A, and then I went to the D string on the 7th fret maybe harmonic, and then whammied that out and just followed the chord progression. That's a fun part to play, I like to listen to it too, it's fun. So the chorus sounds like this. Or no, the verse. This is the verse. Let's do that. Let's listen through the verse real quick. All right, here we go.
Great things he hath taught us, great things he hath done, and great our rejoicing through Jesus the Son. But purer and higher and greater will be our wonder, our transport when Jesus we see.
All right, so yeah, I think did octave vocals all the way through on that, and I like how it sounded. And so we go into the second chorus, and it's a lot more driving than the first chorus. So the whammy guitar part, I'll let you listen to that throughout. That was fun to play, as usual. I love playing guitar. And a lot of times it's at my kitchen table.
All right. So this is actually a voiceover. I muted myself for some reason at this point, but I am going through and unmuting the tracks. I'm actually going to do a quick playthrough of the chorus, the second chorus. So here is what that sounds like.
Let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord. Let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son and give him the glory. Great things he hath done.
Back to the voiceover. So in this next section, I think I do just the drums and bass, just to give you a feel for the drums and bass. Here's what that sounds like.
I like that little octave part on the guitars and the bass. They just do a little thing where everybody goes together. It's fun. Let's see, let's do it. Right there. Okay, and then it gets crazy. It gets crazy. So I'll just do the drums just to give you a sense of the vibe change that's going on here. So we got so obviously we're changing time signatures. And we're changing tempo. So initially the song's in 83 BPM and 4/4, and I switched to 6/8 and 66, I believe. When I put the file into this one, it changed everything, so I had to make it to where it didn't follow the tempo. But there's where it initially happened. And then at the outro, it goes back to the original tempo. So I'm repeating the theme at the end. Anyways, so I think the first thing I want to show you is the whammy guitar. There was a really cool part, and I'm pretty sure it's a pinch harmonic thing that it was almost accidental. It was accidental, and it took me a few takes to actually replicate it. And then once I finally got it the way I wanted it, I just I'm just going to punch in the rest of that. So this is what that sounds like. Let's do the drums. So cool. I remember when that happened, I was just like, what? It was so fun. Anyways, so we can go into, let's see, the riff, the intro riff to that is fun too. It's kind of harping on the second chorus riff. I've got a recording on my phone, a voice memo, where I lipped this out because I had the idea in my head and I didn't want to forget it, and so it was like and so this is how it turned out. So we got that major minor thing going on. It's it's in B minor, but I'm playing the D sharp in the chord, which is something I really enjoy. I know Linkin Park does it a lot. A lot of like early 2000s bands do that kind of. The song's in a minor key, but they play the major one which is something I find really cool. It just does something to the harmonies, the harmonics of the song. It's just really attractive to me. Anyways, so we got added some synth to accent the that guitar part. So here's how that sounds. It's just really hard and really fun. Just like, oh, it's fun. So this is how the instruments sound. And I did a thing here. You can see, added some screams, so it makes it that post-hardcore kind of metalcore vibe to it. So here's how all the instruments together sound. Let's do this. Wrong part. No, that's the right part. What am I doing here? Let's go into it. So it repeats the theme from the beginning. I actually changed back to the original tempo, which was really fun. So you can hear a lot of unique things that go on. The chord progression is totally different. I don't even remember what the chord progression is. Like I said, if you're interested, I can do a lead sheet on it. But I remember how I figured it out. I remember listening to the melody and thinking, what chord does that note fit in, and what unique chord does that note fit in? And so I used a lot of borrowed chords and things like that to get through that chorus. There's a lot of cool, like the whammy guitar does some cool stuff. There's some cool rhythmic, like da 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 ba, like in the middle of the chorus. So the whammy guitar sounds like this. So I did a pinch harmonic with the whammy bar on another track to follow the stab guitars. This is what that sounds like by itself. And also something I like to point out, the bass at the end is just kind of a cool little driving kind of thing. Real fun. real fun. So altogether, the final chorus sounds like this. I guess before I do that, let me show you there's some cool harmony parts too that accent some of the chord progressions, chord changes. And then we'll be done. Let's see. This is what that sounds like.
Earth, hear his voice. People rejoice.
It's cool little harmony parts going on there. So let's listen through this chorus and outro.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, let the earth hear his voice. Praise the Lord, let the people rejoice. Oh, come to the Father through Jesus the Son, and give him the glory. Great things he has done. Oh, give him the glory. Great things he has done.
So yeah, that's To God Be the Glory in some form of rock. We could go 80s metal to modern metal. The whole point of this whole project was to reimagine some classic hymns. So I'm going to do a few more videos. Got 3 more songs from this project that I want to do this sort of video on. And I think this song was a good intro song to the project because it takes and it blends the old with a little bit older. like so we got classic hymn in a church setting, and then we got transition into 80s rock, 80s metal, and then we transition into like a modern metalcore. It might even be like more 2000s metalcore than anything, but I really, really enjoyed the process of this song, producing it, arranging it, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed walking through it with me. And if you like this sort of content, please consider liking and subscribing and sharing. Like I said, I do plan on doing 3 more videos, and then I also have a plethora of songs that I have to get through for this project this year. I think I've got another 16 songs, maybe it might be 12. It's 12 to 16 songs. So, and there's multiple genres. I've got some country Americana, some folk, some CCM pop kind of stuff on the horizon, and then we might do some more rock. We'll see. I really enjoy playing this stuff. I really enjoy producing and arranging this type of stuff. So yeah, like I said, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.